Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas. It's fight week for Canelo versus Triple G, part 3, the end of the trilogy. I'm being here with Triple G's trainer, Jonathan Banks. Jonathan, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
My main question about this fight is, what have you, plan-wise, laid down for Gennady so it's not a close fight, so we don't get what we got in the last 2 fights?
I don't think there's a plan that you could lay down for it not to be a close fight. When you got 2 titans of this magnitude that's coming at each other, these guys have proved, at least at some point in their careers, that they was the best in the world at what they do. And I just don't see a plan that you could have that makes sure the fight is not close, but knowing that it's gonna be a close fight, the goal is to just outwork your opponent. And that's all it is. You put your hard hat on and you go to work, you know, and the goal is for him to outwork his opponent. And the 2 fighters are significantly different from the first 2 fights. And I think the only one who stayed their weight was G. You know, Canelo moved up to heavyweight, light heavyweight, super middleweight, junior middleweight, all this stuff. You know, so he's a different type of fighter than what he was those 2 fights, and I honestly think it's not going to be. It'll be a little easier to outwork him, but outworking him. It's not going to make it an easy fight. It's just going to be a little bit easier to outwork him because he don't throw volume punches like he used to. No, Canelo. Canelo don't throw volume punches like he used to.
Yeah, the one-hitter quitters.
Exactly. The last several fights, they was all walking guys down, taking, one punch. Walking out, taking. So, again, this is no negative part towards Canelo. I'm just dissecting what he's doing. You know, he's not the volume puncher like he used to be. You know, he's become this ruthless one-punch knockout guy, especially looking at what he did to Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? So he looking at himself like, why not be the same guy? It got me this far, so why not do it? So in that regard, G would be able to outwork him, but he still got to watch out for these huge power shots that's gonna come. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a problem on both sides.
Naturally, me hearing that and hearing like what the fans have had to say about the fight, at 40, can Golovkin outwork a younger Canelo? And what would be your response to people saying he's a lot older now, that because of that he won't be as competitive?
I have nothing to say about that. That's just people's opinion. I don't pay no attention because if you believe them when they say you're good, you gotta believe them when they say you're bad. So I just don't pay no attention. And there's no disrespect to the fans, but I just have to have my mindset on what I want to do and what I want to see, and I have to go off that. You know, so I don't pay no attention. Yes, he is older, you know, but again, he still can work. He still can go to work, and I believe he still can outwork his opponent. You know, especially when you got a guy that's only looking to walk down and throw 1 punch at a time. You know, so it's gonna be it's gonna be difficult because you got to look out for the hard blows. But you still can be a volume puncher and just throw. If Triple G throw 35 punches around, that'd be enough to outwork Canelo because he don't throw that many punches around. He just block, looking for that 1 punch that's gonna lay a major impact to hurt his opponent. You know, so will he hurt Triple G or will Triple G hurt him? That's what we all gotta wait. Neither fighter has touched the canvas. So that's why this fight has 12 rounds written all over it. Yes, Canelo said he's come to destroy Triple G. But Triple G's never been destroyed, so no one knows what that looked like. So that'd be new to everybody if it happened. You know, G say he wants to beat Canelo. He wants to probably, let's say he want to do the same to him. Neither fighter has touched the canvas. Neither fighter has been destroyed. So something new is going to happen in this fight. something that never happened before. That's the anticipation. That's why everybody's excited about it.
I've heard other trainers, when I've asked them for their breakdown for the fight, they say that Golovkin has to fight like the old Golovkin, like you're saying, like you're alluding to, punches, just more punches. He can't just jab and box and expect to beat Canelo, because he tried that in the second fight and they gave it to Canelo because Canelo came forward. Have you had a discussion with Gennady about, hey, go back to the body, like you got to throw? It sounds like you have, but
I mean, it's not. It's not. I never told him to go back to the body. I told him that he got to start going to the body, because he wasn't a body puncher. Like, he probably hit him with 4 body shots in 24 rounds. That's not a body puncher. That's not going back to the body. We got to go to the body. We got to hit him everywhere: arms, elbow, stomach, chest, shoulder, everywhere. Like, let's hit him so much that they can feel like he's surrounded. Let's go. So that's part of going to work. Letting your hands go, punching them. So I'm not trying to recreate nothing he did in either fight. I'm just trying to have him to pick up the pace and to be able to let his hands go, because I think that would benefit him more.
what have you specifically done in camp so that that happens? And what changes you make so that he has a better gas tank to be able to let go of his hands more, so he's not getting tired or fatigued in rounds 10, 11, and 12?
I mean, I don't care if you get tired around 10, 11, 12. That's the difference between 90% of probably the coaches you talk to, or condition coaches. They tell a fighter, we go train so you don't get tired. Okay, cool. I don't want to train the fighter so they don't get tired. I want you to be able to contain yourself while you're tired, because you don't know what fighter's gonna exert you to the point where you get tired. But if you can maintain your composure and know how to fight when you're tired, then how hard it is to beat the guy that can fight and maintain his composure while he's tired. So the goal is just to go to work. Don't worry, we're not worried about his gas tank, because we seen it empty, we seen it full. We did all this in camp, and he got a full tank, and let's go. And we got like 2 other tanks on the side. So we got to refill it. It's not going to be a problem, him running out of gas, because he knows how to fight. He been fighting in the gym for the longest while he's tired. Let's go. We've been pushing. So therefore, I'm not worried about it. His goal and his demeanor is just to go in there and let his hands go. He's not worried about it. He can't afford to worry about nothing else.
Going back on the first 2 fights, honest opinion, who did you see win and why?
I thought G won the first fight, and I thought the second fight was closer to a draw. It was closer to a draw, and only reason I saw it that way, because I know in the sport of boxing, there's no rule to judging a fight. It's all off personal opinion. And does that need to change? Of course. But when you got a fighter going backwards, for some reason the judge is looking at the feet of the fighter. So if you're looking at their feet, fighter going backwards, you assume the fighter coming for a winner. But if the fighter punching going backwards, does that mean the fighter coming for a winner? No, that just means that's the direction the fighter's going in. Just because the fighter putting pressure on one fighter, does that make, because if we're fighting, if you're the aggressor and I'm moving back and I'm popping you, yes, you're the aggressor. Why are you winning the round when you're not landing the punches? I'm landing the majority of the punches.
You're not the effective aggressor. I would not be the effective aggressor, because I'm walking forward and I'm getting popped with punches.
But you are effective because you're forcing me to punch. So your aggressive is effective. But it shouldn't land on nobody's scorecard, because you're not landing shots. I'm landing the majority of the shots. So what rule can we judge by? We just have to go off our opinion, because that's what they're going by. There's no rule that's being judged by of what should be effective or what should be called, and how's the fighters are winning. So let's hope the judges not looking at the feet of the fighters, looking at the hands, because if you're the aggressor the whole fight, and I hit you 200 times, you hit me 50 times, shouldn't I win the fight if I landed the most punches? But they're gonna give the fight to you because you're the aggressor. You made the crowd jump up. Every one punch you hit me with, the crowd went crazy. But I hit you 150 more times than you hit me. Shouldn't I win the fight? You would think so. But that's not always the case. So we have to, we work, double work, triple work to cover all our bases to make sure that Triple G is in shape to just let his hands grow for 12 rounds.
Yeah, that naturally makes me think, like, because he's gone 12 rounds twice with Canelo. The first one, I think a majority of fans felt Gennady won. They scored it a draw. The second one was really, really close. It was a draw, and he lost it. Is there apprehension to go 12 rounds? Like, does Gennady feel like, if I go 12 rounds, I'm not going to win this fight?
No, our talks, our plan is the first two fights you have to put in your rearview mirror because that's where they are. And it don't help. We got the same judges from the first two fights. It don't help either. They didn't give us the rounds that most of the fans cheered for him winning. They didn't even give them to him. They barely gave him 4 rounds. So that doesn't help. But that's something for me to consider, not him. His goal is to go in there and fight. And the plan we have should appease to him winning the fight.
Finally, Jonathan, how bad does Gennady want this win? How bad does he want to get a win over Canelo and end this trilogy, given the bad blood between them, given the competitiveness between both of them?
I mean, honestly, G's just a competitive guy, and this is just business to him. I mean, whatever happens, and once the bell ring, whatever happens, happens. And long as he put his best foot forward, because at the end of the day, when he go home, he's the champion. Then when his kids see him, they don't see somebody, oh, you didn't get a win off. He don't see that. You got to understand what makes a fighter the happiest. When he go home and they see him and his family embrace him, that's the opinion that matters more than anything. Yes, he understands his fans, he understands the media, but for him to be happy internally, when the cameras and all the lights is off, a fighter have to be comfortable in his own skin to the point where he have to be satisfied with what he accomplished. And when he's around his family and they celebrate him, they love him for who he is, at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. Because when you deal with so much media for so many years, you realize what's really important. And the opinions of the people that you live with, meaning your loved ones, your offspring, that's the whole truth that's what really matters. So clearly, yes, he care about winning the fight, but he care more about performing at the highest level and putting his best foot forward to win the fight. He's going to do everything he can to win the fight, but what's really going to matter to him is how those people look at him at home, how his family looks at him. That's what really concerns him.
I said it was the last one, but I just got to get a follow-up on what you said. Just covering this from prior to the beginning to the first fight to the second fight, it just came off to me that the way it ended really, really bothered Gennady. Like, it bothered him that he didn't get the win in the first fight. It bothered him that it was a draw where a lot of people felt it could have gone either way.
I mean, it should have. Like, look at this. Like, you put your whole life into something. And every time, like, once you get, whoever the biggest interview you get, if you get this one interview, you set, your business is set for the remainder of however long you want to do it. And right when you get up there, your microphone don't work. Or the camera went off. The best question you had, the camera wasn't on. And now you feel that you still did an interview, but it's not a victory for you because the best thing about it, nobody saw it, so you can't even tell nobody about it. So it's a letdown, but you don't give up. You get a new camera. You go back to camp and you redo it. You start all over, and you go back at it again. And if it don't work the second time, well, let's give it one more try. Let's make some adjustments, because maybe it's the way I picked it up. So let's make some adjustments. This is his adjustment that he's making, and this is his final time, final interview. Let's see what we can make happen.
Sorry, just one more. I said it was the last one. Well, if he loses, which you guys don't think he will, but has he any discussion about him retiring? Like, will this be Gennady's last fight, or he hasn't hinted at that yet?
Well, I learned a long time ago, when you're dealing with fighters, period, young or old, you work one fight at a time. And I don't talk about the previous fight. I don't care if he was 25 years old. I'm not talking about what's next. I'm talking about what's now. And what's next will be next. So right now, he in the fight of his life. So Sunday, me and him will talk about it.
All right, Jonathan, good chatting with you. Really appreciate it. Really enjoyed the chat. Jonathan Banks, the trainer of Gennady Golovkin, Marcos Villegas, here in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.